Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Alright, we meet the legendary filmmaker Hansal Mehta. Aligarh. Controversy, but great film. Let's find out all about his life and times in Cyrus Says.
Cyrus Says we have other shows too. You should check them out.
Hi, I'm Amit Gulbaksani.
I'm Purva Mehra.
And I'm Pranoti Datta. And we're from a city website called The Daily Pow. And we have a new podcast called The Powcast. So you can listen to us on the Indus Vox SoundCloud page as well as iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Alright, budget blues. I have to tell you good news from the budget. Refrigerators are going to cost more, but the container is going to cost less. So you can't buy the refrigerator, but you can buy the container and one day aspire. It's how my father and I planned when we were young. We bought the video but not the TV. We wanted TV prices to come down. So 2 years of videos and a membership in Shemaru wasted because no television. One more good piece of news. Folk performers are cheaper. Book Kailash Kher now. It's called Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus Says.
As a young boy, by the way, you're listening to Cyrus Says, as a young boy, there were many fairy tales I liked. One of them was Hansel and Gretel. Gretel, of course, disappeared from sight, but Hansel is still with us.
Hansel.
But yeah, German ma Hansel, Gujarati ma Hansel, what is the difference?
Yeah, that's what.
Welcoming Hansal Mehta to our studio, one of our epic filmmakers, a man who punches higher than his weight all the time, is unafraid to speak his mind. Listen, Mr. Mehta, I have to tell you that we are all big fans, not only of what you do, but the fact that you have the guts to just do what you want. And that's why we've asked you to come here and begged you to come here, but you went to the wrong famous. Once again, I have to apologize to my guest because there are 11 famouses. And here's the real tragedy. You grew up in the area.
Well, this area has changed. Like everything has changed here.
You just want to get rid of the people who live here now. I understand. But
yeah, you get it.
Yeah, but we can't do that. We have to live in peace here. As your film says. Alright, let's go straight to the top and talk about Aligarh first. Why this topic? Why did Hansal Mehta wake up one day and say, let's go for this topic?
No, this story actually came to me in my email. It was a junk email.
Right.
And I went into my junk email.
Right.
Because that's where all the
the interesting
offers,
stuff is.
Yeah, all the offers, free sex and all that,
What are you saying? Let's talk about that. Forget Aligarh.
Yeah.
What is this free sex? I don't get this junk mail.
So, lots of that. I am Maria from Romania.
Wow.
And
what is your reply?
No, I don't reply to all that.
But why?
Because they don't... They're all
lies.
All lies.
They don't exist.
All lies.
He's actually Manoj from Bandra. He's still watching you.
Manoj Bajpayee.
Not Manoj Bajpayee. I hope not yet. Oh, sorry. So you get junk mail.
There's this junk mail which I opened, which was from this girl called Ishani, and the subject said "True story, urgent."
Mm-hmm.
And I opened it, and the story was... She sent me some newspaper cuttings of this professor who was suspended for being gay, and his death after that, his victory in court, his death. I found the story interesting, and it just stayed in my head. So,
but in the background, you have Article 377, rearing its head every couple of years. It's a big story, last 4 or 5 years.
See, that's the thing. I don't make films on Section 377. I don't make films on
that film
minorities'
will
rights.
Never come out because they don't have a conclusive answer.
No, I try to find a personal story first. A story that grabs me and which connects itself to an issue that is current. So that's how I found this story. And the story did not leave me. That girl finally left her job. She was working in Delhi. She was a PR.
Right.
She was working in a PR firm.
For a PR person, really, yeah.
Yeah, she left her job. She left her job, came to Bombay, said, I want to be a writer. I said, look, you'll have to starve. So she starved for some time. And
but what happened to Maria from Romania?
Maria is still in my junk mail.
But at least call her once. I mean, due respect to Ishani, we'll come back to her story. But at least once, have you ever replied to those junk mails?
No.
No?
I've been told that it'll infect my computer.
No, that's all nonsense. It'll infect your life maybe, but not your computer.
Definitely my life.
Alright, let's go back to Ishani. So she gave up everything to come here and you all decided to make this film.
So I shared the story with Apurva. Apurva is my editor and my partner in crime for many years.
Right.
So I shared it with him. Apu said, "Oh, I know about this. I did not know about this. That 2010, something like this. It's most of our headlines are like that. They come and go.
And there's always some sensational headline and you can't take it seriously.
And it came on the third page. Who cares about a professor from Aligarh?
The first page says Virat Kohli new beard. Different. Yeah.
So Apurva knew about it, and he said, "This is a damn good story. Let's work on it." So Apurva wrote the film.
Okay.
So from that day, 6 months after that.
But you obviously had to research the whole actual events. It's centered around 3-4 very, very keen events, so you had to go through all that.
Apurva and Ishani went through all that. My approach is that I look at the script.
Right.
Try to treat it like a screenplay, not as, a documentary.
Or as a journalist writing,
as a journalist,
venting her side of the story.
Yeah.
But that's very important actually. So now just take us through this whole story. It's a very tragic story actually. I didn't understand. In the end, the death is not explained?
Yeah, like in real life.
Or should we not give that away?
Well, you can. The death was never explained.
Yeah.
It was a mystery.
Right.
The police also, closed the case.
So, let's retrace the events for people listening. So first, he is a professor.
He was a professor of Marathi in Aligarh Muslim University.
Always a popular course, yes.
Very popular.
Because a lot of North Indians are going to come here and work, so,
Yeah, so one Marathi, the
Marathi Manas.
Marathi Manas, they were so much against people from UP working here.
Yeah.
So,
they opened a department.
So this guy, they sent one Marathi there.
There you go.
And his name was Professor Siras.
Right.
So he was
sounds
teaching
a little bit like my name.
Siras,
in Punjabi.
Yeah.
Siras aa gaya.
Well, there are a lot of articles which call him Professor Cyrus.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I said Professor Cyrus is not a Marathi professor. And I don't know any
The language will change completely.
Yes, I don't know. The only common word between Parsi and Marathi is Ghan.
Oh, wow, Hansal. I got you as the erudite, sophisticated spokesperson for films in India. A person who's ahead of his times. And you come down to basic Gujarati. Chalo, it's fine.
Yeah, so he was suspended from his university.
No, but he was a happy professor there for a few years.
He was happy and gay.
Yeah, but that nobody knew or cared about.
Yeah, nobody really bothered. He worked there for 30 years.
Fairly popular, I'm saying.
Distinguished service. He was the head of department of the Modern Indian Languages department. It was so they taught Marathi, Malayalam, and all these very popular languages.
UP, where everybody uses.
In Aligarh Muslim University.
You can't buy anything in the shop without knowing your Malayalam or your Marathi. Then?
So he was, some people barged into his quarters, filmed him making love to this guy.
His lover.
His lover. And he was suspended.
So why did they do that? What is
the thing is, he was suspended at a time when Section 377 was actually revoked by the
initially they had
by
done
the
that.
Delhi High Court.
Correct.
3 years. It was no longer
like a
crime
for the homosexual community.
It was no longer a crime. So at that time he was suspended by his university. They called it immoral.
Against the linguistics department culture.
Linguistics.
Aye. So bole dikra. Turning my show on its head. So even though the law was on his side, he could do nothing about it at that point.
Well, he did. He fought.
Subsequently, he fights the battle.
He fought the battle.
I'm asking you, as a person, what do you think is the reason? Why did they do that? Why were they targeting him? Just jealousy?
There were many. There was a lot of speculation. From the research, we found that there were people who were actually against him. It was not the institution that discriminated against him, but there were people who did not like the fact that he was, heading such a major department.
And he was slightly open about his lifestyle.
No, he wasn't. He was very quiet.
So it was not like he was obnoxious with anyone, or
no. See, people of that age, there's a whole generation which remained closeted.
Right.
Never spoke about their sexual orientation.
Right.
One, because of the fear of ostracization.
Right.
And secondly, because people were more private at one point.
How the internet changed all that. Have you seen my pictures in the shower? Oh, God.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm Maria. I have to tell you. Now is the time to come to... No,
You just killed
they
Maria
were
for
making
me.
light of the situation, but no, obviously. So he gets these people who want to just bring him down, bigots or whatever the issues are, people with prejudices, plenty of that in our country, as we know. And so they go and file, they go and shoot this and shame him, basically.
They shamed him. And it was a long. The case. There were some social activists who came down,
To take
fought
his
for
side.
him.
Yeah.
The Lawyers Collective fought his case, and he was reinstated.
Yeah.
But he became a poster boy. He became this public figure of the whole struggle for gay rights.
And became tough for him then to continue.
Yeah, I don't know. That is the exploration. That's
Because
what the film is.
he didn't want that kind of avatar. He was happy just being a quiet professor.
And we have to respect that. The film is about respecting
His
somebody's
dignity.
choice.
Fair enough, yeah.
That freedom of choice, your dignity. So the film is about that man's dignity.
It's an amazingly tragic story again because, he seems like a very nice human being
Yeah.
who worked hard, who educated people, one of the most noble professions, and who minded his own business all his life. And, whatever his sexual preference being.
And he loved his whiskey.
Yeah. These are all good points, by
Very
the
good
way.
point. He loved listening to Lata Mangeshkar.
There you go.
And he was a poet. He was an awarded poet. Had won some of the highest honors in Marathi poetry.
And a highly respected scholar also because, he could speak many languages and head of departments, etc., etc.
Yeah, so he was. There was. How can his sexual orientation suddenly make him different?
Really. But you can't, once you've taken away that reputation or whatever, scarred him or, put that stigma on him or whatever, what can you do?
I think he was tired. He was tired of the battle. He was
Correct.
tired of the whole persecution.
People looking at him perhaps in different
differently.
ways.
Yeah, and so a place where he had lived for 30 years.
Celebrity status bhi ho chuka hai because now everyone knows who he is in that area.
Yeah, so not everybody wants to be a poster boy.
Yeah.
You want.
I don't mind, honestly. And if the gay community wants to adopt me, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't mind the gay chub as long as I get fame.
I let them know.
Please.
And
And
I've been
air-conditioned doing that.
I've been going to all the gay pride
I can imagine that you suddenly, it's
parades.
a
I've
huge
been
thing.
proclaiming that I'm gay.
Yeah, just to get attention. How we are, yeah.
Very
Insensitive people, in spite of the film you made, which is very sensitive. So let's now cut to the tragic part. So then the unexplained, inexplicable end.
His end.
It's almost Shakespearean, this whole, the way this whole thing has...
Yeah,
been
his end was always unexplained. So I did not think it was
what
right.
does Hansal Mehta think happened?
It was under mysterious circumstances. My belief is more philosophical. I believe we killed him.
One way or the other?
Society,
One way or the other?
society as a whole killed this man. Whether he was poisoned, whether he had a heart attack, whether he committed suicide, is irrelevant now. That he's dead
So
anyway.
in a sense, even though he may not have been killed by a murder sort of thing,
But society
he
in
wanted to
general-
die. He had enough.
Yeah, I think he'd had enough. They'd put too much pressure on this man who wanted just to be left alone, and that's what the film deals with. The man who wants to listen to Lata Mangeshkar, wants his whiskey, and wants his quiet.
Really?
Has to keep changing homes.
It's absolutely, and it's so tragic that in 2016, this story almost sounds like a story from 1950s. In many ways, what he represents, AMU, teacher background, the whiskey, the Mangeshkar songs, all that. And then, suddenly 2016, no change.
Nothing has changed. I'm still seeing those prejudices. There are cinema halls in places like Calcutta. I'm getting reports from there. People come there and they snigger. They make fun of.
Why do they watch the
Chakka.
film then?
Well, because they
Or maybe they're uncomfortable with their own thing, sometimes when they try to put on this face.
They're uncomfortable, but they laugh at the most sensitive of moments. So things have not changed. We are homophobic.
Yeah.
The ban.
And also don't want to admit the homosexuality. A lot of people,
Possibly.
they don't support the movement correctly sometimes.
Possibly.
Yeah. So what have you sort of learned from doing this kind of film? You must have got all kinds of reactions. You must have got very good reactions as well. Let's talk about those.
I'm quite overwhelmed. I have not seen a film reviewed this much.
Yeah.
Okay, the reviews are not only from the critics. Like right now, there are many critics.
Everyone's a critic.
Everyone's
it's
a critic.
ridiculous. You are on the internet, you upload your criticism and you're great.
And you're a critic. And when you give it 3 stars, 4 stars,
Put a
5
picture of your
stars.
grandfather so you sound old and you're done. Yeah. He's 8-year-old. His name is Mahesh Babu, not the actor. Then?
And so there have been so many reviews, but there have been more, people who have watched the film have posted, huge long paragraphs about the film, written so much. It's improved the quality of writing. The kind of writing that I've seen about the film has...
so they've been inspired to write good reviews, what you're saying?
They've been inspired to write well.
Yeah.
You know, they might be critical.
So you've touched a chord, which is what you wanted to do as a filmmaker.
I think so. You know, his that man's poetry and literature has somewhere rubbed off on the people who are watching the film. So they've written beautifully. Even if they've criticized the film, the criticism is also well written.
Yeah.
So it was quite overwhelming. Shahid, when I made Shahid, I thought it was very well reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really, I put out a tweet saying that, thank you for all the appreciation and for all the criticism. Somebody wrote to me, where were you criticized? Why are you being so humble? When, we get criticized and then say thank you. So, but I thought I could not go beyond that kind of reviewing. But this has been something else, unprecedented. The amount of reviews and,
So there is also good in India. From what you're saying, there's also a lot of people who understand the story you're trying to tell. A lot of people who understand that, we have to be a more liberal and easygoing country.
Well, there is a section of, let's say there's a major section which lives on the social media. That
I say a lot of that is the porn social media, my section, and this is a totally different tribe altogether.
Yeah, your section is different.
Me, Maria, and a couple of other junk mails that you get every
me.
day. Yeah, and you, in between films.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah. So sorry, I interrupt you. So they live on the social media and
they, I think they appreciate.
Or maybe they're allowed to speak. Their voice comes out better in the internet because they feel they can tell you the
empowered.
truth.
And I think they are the ones who have watched the film. They're the ones who have really got the point of the film. They've understood what the film is trying to do.
Right.
So the key words have been dignity, poetry.
Self-respect for the guy, yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
Poetry. People have been talking about poetry. Everybody, we never intended the film to be poetic.
Yeah.
But the reviews have been that this film is poetry.
Well, his life was poetic in a sense.
Yeah, it was poetic.
He was a man of letters. He was giving out letters, and at the end of the day, he's left alone almost, and isolated from the rest of society.
There's been overwhelming support from the film industry, which was. I've always been an outsider. I've never really belonged to the inside.
Where's your spot boy? You've not brought a spot boy to our show.
I don't have any.
How can you do this, yaar?
When I was going out on publicity for this film, somebody called me, my studio called me, said, so we'll book a ticket and room for you and your boy. I said, what boy? Just because I made a gay film doesn't mean I have a boy.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to get a lot of those jokes as well for the rest of your life. Yeah. Okay, before we take a break, one quick thing about the university itself. What is your... I have actually shot in that university, AMU.
I haven't.
No, as in I've been there and shot in it, and they've got their own subculture. There's a lot of Urdu poetry going on. Seem to be very artistic as well. There's one very strong artistic side. Would appreciate poetry, as you mentioned, men of letters as well. But what do you think, that they stood by him or not? That's a little unclear for me.
Well, there's a huge section of that university that stood by him. There were people in the administration who had the power to suspend him, and that felt uncomfortable with his presence on campus. But even now, there's a lot of support for him.
From faculty also?
Faculty and students.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of support. People who have been writing to us from AMU saying that thank you for making this film. They're the same ones who warned us, said, don't come here, it'll just get messy. Don't shoot at AMU.
So where was the whole shooting done then?
It was shot in Bareilly.
Okay.
Yeah, in Bareilly College.
How sad that you couldn't get into AMU itself.
We could not even go for the recce. I got a threat call on the night of the recce.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
What would they say on the threat call?
Tangi tod denge.
Bhai se baat karo. Direct, no subtlety. Ek pair pe thoda ye wo, nothing.
Nothing. Tangi tod denge, idhar aana mat.
My God. I'm told that Manoj Bajpayee can't even complete his education in AMU when he wants to go back.
No comments.
Don't answer that. Just keeping it a little light from time to time because it's a very heavy subject. We'll take a quick break, then we'll come back. Lots more to talk about, because Hansal's struggle was not just in making the film, but in releasing the film. We'll talk about that when we come back, as well as his life, his times, and more interesting projects coming up in the next 15 to 20 years for Hansal Mehta. Stay with us on Cyrus Says.
Cyrus says, stop picking your nose, listen to this ad.
Now, if you want to listen to some brilliant indie music from all over the country, it's really simple. You can find me on Made in India. That's madeinindia.in. My name is May, and it's spelled M-A-E-D. Now, I've had some great artists on the show, including the likes of Nikhil D'Souza, The Cognac Net, Last Remaining Light, Tejas Menon, The Other People, Alicia Pays, Lakshmi Baum, Vasudha Sharma, Ankur Tiwari, and so many more. Now, if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes or Stitcher or your favorite podcast app, or you can find me on my website. That's madeinindia.in. That's M-A-E-D, or on Twitter and Facebook on Made in India.
And coming out of the break here with Hansal Mehta, a filmmaker who always wants to make a point. Or is that a correct thing to say, or are you sick of all that? I'm really sick of all these terms that they give you all the time.
Yeah, I'm just somebody who's telling stories.
You don't want any of these chops. Art filmmaker, parallel cinema, breaking the boundaries, challenging society.
Whatever brings people to the theatres, whatever makes them like my films.
So Gujarati Manas at heart. Yes. All said and done.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Let's get back to the subject now. You had to release this film. Obviously a controversial subject, but you must have been prepared. We're living in this India, which is very clearly... it's not very clear what our rules are. Am I right to say that? It's just not clear. So we don't know what is a practical thing to do or what is a legal thing to do either sometimes. So what was the tensions going into the release, and what happened? Tell us.
The release was not that much of a tension. The film was always, co-produced by Eros, which is a big studio.
Right.
And they backed the film completely. So we had a good release. We had a decent release for the film.
No demonstrations?
Nothing. It started after the film was released.
Right.
That's when, Aligarh...
Where all the people who don't watch the film got upset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where Aligarh decided to ban Aligarh.
Yeah. And I was listening to some of them talk on the ban elements talk on television, and the ridiculous rationale that they have that Aligarh equates to homosexuality, Aligarh equates to this, he's trying to, put down the whole city and the university.
And they were actually proving the point that the film is trying to make.
So you're a bigot.
That homophobia exists in our society, and they are homophobic.
But what is it? Is there any solution? Because, it doesn't look like this homophobic problem is just to do with one society or one class of society.
I think first the law needs to be rectified. The law is giving these people a certain level of legitimacy.
But they keep passing the buck at the moment, right? The judiciary saying go back to legislation and rechange it.
Well, now the
special bench is sitting on it.
Yeah, the special bench will have to do something.
What do you think will happen?
I think I have a lot of faith in the judiciary, especially the higher courts. The higher courts are concerned. When Supreme Court revoked Section 377, re-invoked Section 377 in 2013.
Right.
They said that modifying the constitution is actually an act of parliament. That parliament needs to do this. The judiciary is there to implement the laws made by the legislature.
But in a sense, that's passing the buck. You're sending it back.
So they sent it back, but the parliament, the people that we elect into power, did nothing. As usual.
How can you say that? Yeah, I've been watching the Parliament channel. They do a lot. Lots of fun.
They keep running to the well.
I thought Smriti was in Mayawati is your next film. That was a fantastic dialogue.
She's the next Prime Minister.
Which one?
Smriti.
Smriti is the next Prime Minister. Chalo, theek hai. I better start learning my scriptures. So, what is the future about this whole? I mean, is there any hope?
I see hope. It's going to be a long drawn battle. The petitions that are in front of the higher court are not, there are many petitions. They will have a lot of reading to do. But I'm hopeful. I think finally, this thing will be taken off our constitution. So Section 377 had no business being there in the first place.
We look at ourselves as a first world country, a growing country.
No, it was there. It's a Victorian law, 1860.
And they've changed it many years ago in England.
They've abolished it. Yeah. It found its way into our constitution.
Victoria is a common male name now. It's not a problem in England, yaar.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. That's one joke each. Hansal to serve. Yeah. All right. Let's move away now a little bit from this whole experience. But would you say it's a positive experience as we end that
Absolutely. It's very...
Changed you a little bit? You got an insight into another world? You felt this tragedy of this man in front of your eyes?
No, it was special. The film, every film enriches you. Makes you a better person, I think. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's just...
But there is a crime here, right? There's a crime of a man who was sort of destroyed by us.
Also,
All of us, collectively.
It just made me feel more for my father. The way we look after our old. Because this film is also about aging and loneliness. About old people and their loneliness. So, somewhere that loneliness, I feel we ignore people when they are lonely.
Yeah, we sort of look after them, but we don't actually connect.
We don't connect to them.
Correct, you're right.
So it's a lot about that loneliness. And I think it has given me a little more sensitivity towards my father.
Right.
So on a personal level, it's done something to me.
Okay. I'm feeling old at 44. I just want to warn you already. I'm feeling that loneliness right now. Not to make light of something which is clearly there. Let's talk now about the future. What's Hansal going to be next? You always want to challenge yourself with something. So is it going to come from the junk mail again, or have you got something?
No, there's something that I'm doing.
Please don't mention Maria again and tell me it's her idea.
No. This is a film called, it's tentatively titled Simran.
Okay.
And it's got Kangna.
Okay.
Playing Simran.
So she'll be playing 9 roles as usual.
No. So it's an interesting film. She's playing a Gujarati girl.
Okay.
And that's all I can say. We'll be outside my NDA.
But are we going towards any hard-hitting sort of story like the last one, or is this just a work
it definitely deals with ordinary people. My films deal with.
But Hansal, come on, there has to be some theme here. Come on, is it about women empowerment, as Rahul Gandhi would tell me in my ear, or?
Well, she's a bank robber.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
this is very odd. Is it based on a true story?
Yeah.
We had a female bank robber. I mean, that's fantastic.
Well, I can't say anything more.
And how does the story end? Please, I want a happy story. I'm one of those guys who gets a little. I can't take the sad stories.
Well, we'll find out how it ends.
Just make it happy anyway, yaar.
Yeah, that's what we'll find out.
Let them rob the bank. Come on, what the hell are they doing anyway with their money? All right, Hansal, let's talk about films now across the world. The Oscars are just over at this time of our, recording. How do you feel cinema? Are you happy with what you saw? You think Leonardo DiCaprio deserved Best Actor?
Well,
have you seen Revenant?
I did, and I think
Bear
he deserved.
I like The Bear better.
Yeah, I think he deserved an Oscar many years ago, and that's what they do in the Oscars. You're given an Oscar in hindsight.
Okay. For the third film, but you get it for the 7th.
For the 7th.
Yeah.
So Scorsese got it for Departed, which was such a huge surprise.
Yeah.
So I think that's
what Scorsese have got it for?
I thought Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver, okay, all right. Right there in the beginning, okay.
Yeah, right in the beginning. And I mean, they ignored him all those years. Goodfellas, they just ignored him.
Because he did about 10 more Taxi Drivers after that.
Yeah.
Italian-American cars only.
Raging Bull.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Raging Bull should have got it.
Raging Bull should have got it. He did not.
He didn't get an Oscar?
Never got an Oscar.
That's raging bullshit. We've got to stop this, Hansal. We've got to stop this together.
Well, and finally, it's not...
But what do you think of Revenant?
It's their awards.
Right.
Their filmfare.
Yeah, but it's not much different from us. No? There's a little lobbying, there's a little song and dance in the end of the day.
It's a television show.
Yeah,
it's a televised, it's a big televised show.
And in many ways, this anti-black situation that they have actually helps the TV rating. This controversy also seems to help the whole Oscars become larger than life.
It's all television. I don't watch. I don't really care. I don't watch the Oscars. There are some good films that are nominated, and I enjoy watching those films.
Or you like my wife who likes only the foreign film category.
Oh, that's truly...
She only watches the Koreans and the Hungarians and the Iranians.
I was very happy about Asif Kapadia winning the Oscar.
And this guy's been around for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is he the guy with that Irfan Khan film?
He did a great documentary on Senna.
Right, the Formula One. Correct.
And
after his death.
Yeah. That was an incredible documentary.
Yeah.
He deserved an Oscar for that.
So he's an unsung hero again.
Yeah, absolute unsung hero. And
so he deserved it for Senna.
And for this. And for Amy.
Okay. Amy is about Amy Winehouse, the singer.
Yeah, Amy Winehouse, the singer. So, I'm very happy about him, about Sharmeen.
The Pakistani girl.
Yeah. So she's also, it's her second Oscar.
Wow. So, not bad for the subcontinent. We got 3 Oscars.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Well, I believe Asif is from Africa.
We'll take claim here. We'll take Kapadia. That is a catchy name as far as I know. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
He stays. So we have to take whatever we get. Caprio also is from Goa. DiCaprio, very common.
His mother is Sikh.
His mother is Sikh?
Yeah.
Who?
Caprio's.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, come on.
Yeah. She's, what do you call that? This whole sect, the American Sikhs, they carry a kirpan. They have these white flowing robes.
Is that so?
Yeah. Major.
What are you saying?
They're called Amritdhari.
So can we claim him? Can we claim Leo?
We can.
We claimed him. I've claimed him. I'm claiming him for India. I'm claiming him. You've given me the enough.
You see his look now. I mean, he looks.
He looks tired. I've never seen a more tired-looking winner in my life. It's like I've had enough. Yeah, really. He looked like he's one of your heroes. The pain of the pain of the situation.
I need to start making
happier
films. Yes.
But Simran, the girl is happy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. No. So coming back. So what about the film Revenant? Did you like it or not? Because I can't understand why you want to make a film where there's basically just snow and where are all the other people?
It's. I think it's very, very brilliantly shot. It deserved the
2 in a row for the director.
It deserved an award for cinematography, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was quite a spectacle, but I didn't see the point.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I didn't see the point.
I'm glad that somebody's understanding. It's sort of 2-hour film at the end of the day. I mean, what's happening here? It's like I go to Kashmir and I shoot, one valley or something.
But I'm still partial. I like Inaritu, the director.
So he deserves 2 in a row, director?
Well, I wish Spotlight got Best Director also.
Okay. But in India, Spotlight will remain a torch. All right, let's come to Indian films. Who's Hansal's favorite Indian director?
It keeps changing. Every few years there's a different...
Okay, so right now, who are the top 2-3 guys that you sort of like? That you don't mind, I like this cinema, I like to watch it.
I enjoy watching Dibakar Banerjee's films.
Okay.
I really enjoy watching his films. He's always trying something new. His style is irreverent.
Right.
So I really enjoy the work that he does. He's always doing something new. Every film is something new.
If you ever try to buy property in Delhi or outside it, like in Khosla Ka Ghosa, that is not a work of fiction from any angle.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I enjoy Vishal Bhardwaj's
making work. Shakespeare more complicated is what I call it. Yes.
Okay.
Always fun.
Yeah.
And
it's, Indian filmmakers, there's constantly something new,
But can we break the stereotype of Hansal Mehta, like, he's a very sophisticated kind of person, and what about your filmy films? Do you ever get into that? Do you ever look at that? Do you ever...
Of course, I watched Himmatwala.
You watched Himmatwala?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you about Dabang. You've taken it further.
Dabang I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Dabang. I thought Dabang was well thought out.
Dabang 1.
Yeah, it was well crafted. Dabang 1. It was well crafted. It was a well thought out film.
The American version is a serial called The Big Bang. That doesn't work that way. So you watched Himmatwala and you liked it?
No.
Sorry, Sajid, I tried. I thought perhaps because Hansal is always a little different from the rest of the breed.
But to be honest, there were
moments.
There were moments with Mahesh Manjrekar which I thought were really, really
I love
funny.
Mahesh Manjrekar.
Yeah, he was damn funny.
Yeah. Have you seen his Samrat?
Not Samrat.
No, not Samrat, the Marathi film.
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't seen it. I'll get you a ticket, boss.
Okay.
I'll get you. I'll do a discount system just for you.
Okay.
All right. Favorite actors?
Favorite actors? Yes, Manoj Bajpayee.
How good was he in this film? He's fantastic.
He is a gift.
Yeah.
And Rajkumar.
Yeah, Rajkumar as well.
My other favorite actor. We've done 3 films in a row.
Correct.
Together.
Which means that by Yash Chopra standards, it's over. The connectivity is over. 3 and then you're out.
Yeah, then Kangana Ranaut now.
Okay.
So, there are,
older generation of Hansal's favorites?
Balraj Sahni.
Oh, right. The one who's supposed to be the father of all Indian actors.
Really, very, very dignified actor and a great actor. Garm Hawa was a film that remains my all-time Hindi favorite.
For me, it's just something that happens at home in the night. Our generation is totally different feeling. But it's a difficult question. Who is your favorite actor? Is there a favorite actor?
Not really. I like actors.
Going back, as you said, Balraj and all that.
Balraj Sahni, Dilip Kumar. I thought Dilip Kumar was...
There's some romance about that time in Indian cinema. I know when
it was always there. Amitabh Bachchan had some incredible performances.
Fantastic presence, yeah.
Incredible performances also. Zanjeer, Trishul. I thought they were great performances.
I loved him in Sholay.
In Sholay.
I noticed sometimes.
Chupke. Yeah. He had some great performances. And now, he's reinventing himself in Piku. I thought he was brilliant in
He survived
Piku.
decades. He's just amazing.
And reinvented himself.
I offer to wash his feet all the time. He doesn't take the phone.
Yeah. He doesn't take the phone?
No.
He doesn't take my calls too.
That's a bit sad because he knows this big controversy. See, with me, I'm just like a pest. But for you, he's worried. Oh God, he's
a different type of pest.
Yeah.
More
dangerous, sir. Exactly. So you do like the bung.
Hum. There's a dialogue from Hum.
I loved Hum. What happened to that actress?
She lives in Australia, I think.
Oh, she's in Australia. How sad. Okay, now we're having a very generic chat. We better stop you. Hansal, so coming up next is Simran. You already started work on that, but well done. I think with Aligarh, and more power to you. I think you go where no man goes before. No pun intended, because of the film that you've just done. And I hope you opened some eyes, and I'm sure you have. But before we let you go, we're getting the AMA, which is somebody comes in, we ask questions, and Hansal Mehta, you will answer the questions because you are a person who has a vision. Which nobody else in my studio has clearly, as you can see.
Cyrus says, ask me anything. If you want Cyrus to answer your questions on air, send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com. If you send us a link to a sound file on SoundCloud, we'll even play you asking the question in your own voice. And that's what Cyrus says.
Yes, AMA time. We have Amit in the house, and Hansal is going to answer all your questions. He's prepared.
Okay, all right. So this actually is a question which I think would be kind of interesting for Hansal to answer as well. So this comes from Sundar Kunchitapatham, something, whatever. Sundar K99. That's what his name is.
Hence, he gave you the option, no?
Yeah, I didn't see that first. I saw that second. All right. The question he has is, Cyrus, I regularly watch your weekly show, Week That Wasn't, enjoy it a lot. Frequently, we hear politicians and political parties accusing their opponents of some wrongdoing. Thereafter, they say very, very firmly, he must apologize. Not that it will change anything one bit. Request you to make an episode on why people are seeking apologies and what's the point of it.
Not just the apology, what really frightens me is the way they go back in history. Our whole defense business when the politicians are fighting is about you did something in the 70s which is similar, or you did something in the 40s which is similar, which is just ridiculous. There's no end to that argument. It's like saying your great-grandmother was a such and such, but your great-great-great-grandmother was a such and such. It's the most ridiculous thing. This apology business is a waste of time. I say we should just give they have to have a limited liability. Our whole parliament must have limited liability. They have to be able to end it faster.
There needs to be a statute.
Exactly. And then you can control this.
Every mistake you make must have an expiry date.
Sahi baat hai, sir. Absolutely. Give them 3 strikes, 4 strikes. Yeah. How you do targets in sales and marketing? Let's just professionalize.
That's what Modi has been asking for, and you guys don't understand. Modi has been saying, forget 2002. It's over.
16 years.
16 years now.
Yeah, well, he's not here most of the time. We try to get him. We tried to get him on the show. He said no far.
Well, he does his own radio show which competes with you. It's called Mann Ki Baat.
Yeah, and it also involves traveling. Because radio you can project from anywhere. Remember that. Yeah.
And private jet.
It's private jet?
Yeah, you don't get all that.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't get a private jet.
I get a driver, but even he wants to leave.
All right. The next question we have is from Harish Punjabi, who's written to us a couple of times before. His question is, so first he does a lot of flattery, I guess. Just would like to thank you for getting in guests from different walks of life. It's been great hearing these people, be it the guys from Bombay Hem Company, the Hula Hoop Girls, Samyak or Sameer Malhotra. Now, the question is, given that Cyrus is nostalgic about the love for the 90s, as well as him being a long-timer at MTV, here's my question. What does he think about the current music scene on TV? Previously, there used to be shows like Bakra, MTV Select, Style Check. Now it's all reality shows.
I think first we have to apologize for our music in the 90s, which was equally bad. I don't see any improvement, to be frank.
90s killed...
It killed it. You speak better about this.
It killed Hindi film. 80s and the 90s. Amitabh Bachchan destroyed Hindi film music.
You think?
Mard tange wala.
Dushman kaun banega?
I actually put it a little later. So I have this theory that I think Dil To Pagal hai basically killed Bollywood. It made it into
which is clearly 90s, huh?
Yeah.
And Shah Rukh Khan.
I think it turned everything in a particular direction.
See, Amit is named after Amitabh. You have to understand, Hansal. Everybody's got their axe to grind.
And I think Roja sort of brought it back on track.
Yeah.
To an extent. But I think what Roja did was it kind of, but Dil To Pagal was
until Rahman started making many Rojas. Yeah. That was the issue.
Yeah, but at least there was a new sound, there was new melody.
Yeah.
Roja, then Vishal made Marches.
That was really good. Vishal was actually, he even did that, there was that song, a movie with Chandrachur Singh and Arshad Varsi. That music was really fantastic.
Sham Gansham.
You mean Chandrachur Singh made a second film?
I don't remember.
The film was called Sham Gansham.
I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was the music of that was really good. I remember listening to it.
Directed by Ashok Ghai.
Okay.
But anyway, as you talk to the encyclopedia himself, the point is that in the 90s, the music has started getting very repetitive, and we had MTV and all the music channels.
We had Nadeem Shravan.
Exactly. Well, one of them was here. One of them disappeared. And the thing is that we would play 30-second clips. I think that also killed it. See, you're playing music for 18 and 19 seconds. You're doing this MTV style video editing where it's all quick on the eye. I mean, there's no chance for the music or the lyrics or anything to live. It's just everything became really quick. And the remix. You guys have heard about the remix.
The remix, that's right.
All the great songs from the past, you killed it by making them faster and jhatka the whole damn thing.
It killed, MTV also killed film editing. Everybody wanted
the fast edit,
jump cut.
That fast edit, cut.
Yeah.
So I made a film, an entire film, which was like a MTV
style
music video. MTV music. They people said, "यार MTV style का कुछ बनाओ, आप बहुत slow बनाते हो."
And you listened, you Hansal Mehta.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was a great trip.
Yeah, it would be. It's fun to do. I mean, like as a thing, but I mean, like the
if the narrative needs it,
exactly.
So MTV sort of made it into a habit. Anybody who could do 50 jump cuts,
there was
became an editor.
No, but there was no other option. That was it. That was the style.
That was the style. Yeah.
It feels like that is when you're doing these songs which are kind of disconnected from the rest of the film. But when
I
you
used
want
to enjoy his Bakra.
Oh, yeah,
there's no song there.
Bakra was a lot of fun. I remember what you did to Prahlad Kakkar.
Well, he did to me.
He did to you.
He did to me.
With Giru was my...
You remember Giru, no?
Yeah, Giru.
Giru. A well-known light boy or...
No, action guy.
Action guy, correct. So I'll just tell you the setup, Amit, very quickly. So Giru, who was well known in the business, he comes smelling of alcohol into the vanity van while we're shooting an ad film, and starts asking for his money. Prahlad is known to not always pay a bang on time.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, these things happen. So he started using MCBC. I'm eating with Prahlad, so I just told him, "Tamiz se baat karo." Prahlad, because I thought he's going to end his career with this kind of attitude, with the MCs and the BCs flying. And then suddenly the guy pulls out a gun, and it's a proper gun, with a blank, and he shoots Prahlad, who subsequently does really bad acting, when I saw it later, but holds his chest, and blood comes out because they put a bag of blood inside the costume. Now, wait, this is the bad part. So I see Prahlad fall, and I'm dressed like Elvis selling Chota Pepsi, by the way, with sideburns. And he comes, Giru points the gun towards me, 4-5 feet away from me, in a small vanity van. And my reaction, which they recorded for posterity, is no. So all these MTV guys, when I go back, started teasing me as I enter, hey, Cyrus, no. My point is, if you believe a bugger has a gun in his freaking hand and he's waving it at you, and he just shot one of the biggest filmmakers, I don't want to die for Prahlad bloody heart, yeah, because he didn't pay this guy on time for sure. What did I do that was wrong?
I think no. It's actually a very, very good response.
I thought it was quite like a warrior. Quite courageous. I didn't urinate in my pants and faint and all that. I'm just like, no, moving backwards. But I was so scared for 1 second. I thought, you think about the revolution we're sitting on, social revolution, disparity in income. Prahlad earns so much. Supposing it's true, Giru was smelling of alcohol on top of that. He's saying, "Mera beta hospital mein, mere ko paisa chahiye, abhi chahiye, turant chahiye," this kind of language. And then MCBC. I believe the whole thing was beautiful. Right. The best performance was Giru, which tells you that the real artist is him, and not me and Prahlad. But yeah, it was terrible. Good fun. But we didn't answer the question. The question here is very clearly, what about today's music? Hansal, today's music, which is a little different from the 90s, on MTV and the other channels and whatever, reflection of our music in society, good, bad?
Yeah, it's good. Atif Aslam changed our music.
I think
our music. Let's be clear. Government is watching.
Yeah. So I think there is better. The music is better. Yeah. Much better now. We're back to
some sort of melody.
I think it's getting better.
And let the song play out. A song has its own body.
Very often the songs are better than the films.
That is, I think, quite
that's terrible.
Yeah,
with the songs when the film tanks, it's a very odd thing.
Great songs.
Yeah,
which are suddenly in some horror film.
And by that you don't just mean genre.
No,
a film which is horror.
Yeah, well.
All right. But I think we have to answer for this guy, except now different taste for different people. What can we say?
Yeah, no, but I think one of the points that he brings up is the fact that the music channels don't play much music anymore.
They're not music channels anymore.
Yeah, they're
just channels.
They're reality.
Does radio play music anymore?
Radio doesn't.
The radio plays ads.
Music is religious channels. There's always something going on.
That is.
You'll hear, in the background.
I was reading something.
Avina classically being played at any point.
I was reading something about radio and how much music they actually play. Right. So in 1 hour they do about 20 minutes of advertising, 7 minutes of RJ talk. So they left for 23 minutes.
So they're exactly like us.
That's
This
the
is
amount
what we
of
do.
music they got. That's the amount of music they got.
Yeah,
So, I mean, like,
23 minutes also is a lot.
yeah, no, but I mean that's the amount of time they have. I
Yeah.
mean,
Or maybe we're getting old guys because, they called rock and roll the devil's music in the 50s and 60s and it became the biggest hit,
now
and then
rock
rap
and
the
roll
same
is
thing.
old. Now they talk
Yeah,
about
so I'm
now
saying
you know
maybe
what
it's
they
old.
call it. You know what they call it, right? I mean, like I was talking to like these 20-year-olds. I mean,
Yeah.
they're asking me what you like, and I'm
R&R.
like, I like U2, I
Yeah.
like Coldplay, I like Dave Matthews. Oh, you like Dad Rock?
Dad rock!
Dad Rock. That's
Damn
what
you!
But there's a TV show I saw called Empire.
Yeah.
Empire. And I mean, suddenly I've got hip hop playing in my car.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you like the music, but I like the storyline.
I love the music. The
I
music.
like the music,
I suddenly
I didn't
warmed
like
up
the
to
The
hip
two
hop.
sons are the singers and the guy is the
King
producer.
Lear. It was an adaptation of King Lear.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
King
Well, except
Lear.
daughters instead of sons.
Yeah.
Oh. Which
That's
works well from the Aligarh perspective because of you're telling another tale here. Yeah.
No, but I like the music of the movie, the show. I didn't like the show that much. I thought the show was very soapy.
Yeah.
But
It's very soapy, but
You gotta get-
great music.
If
Yeah,
you
great
watch it
music.
2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 episodes, you start getting connected. This is
You
the
get
problem.
get completely hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about storyline. Music now, Ansel says he likes rap. I mean, but whatever. But that's the difference between him and me. See, he's a modern guy. He takes whatever's, coming and he enjoys it. People like us, we live in some other world. We have to hide in our cave. Any more questions?
no, that's good.
All right, Ansel, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on the show. We end with your favorite song, which we can't play because we don't have the money or the
No
rights.
money for rights.
Yeah.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the Indus Vox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.
All right, if you've listened to the show called Cyrus Says and you want your money back, let me tell you, that can't be done right now. But we can make you feel better if you listen to Made in India. That's M-A-E-D, Made in India, with May. There's no D in May. Although, maybe one day. Check it out on ivmpodcast.com.